Looking at Eric Revenue right there, coach. One of the more technologically savvy coaches in America. Use of editing equipment, giving it to the players on computers so they can view it at their leisure. Really ahead of his game.
Knutson blocked the shot of Sacre. It's out of bounds, but it'll be Gonzaga basketball with a fresh 35.
Knutson and Smelters sucking air right now. Sacre just giving them all they can handle on the interior.
Portland not a real deep team, especially without Nick Livio right now. So that's one of the concerns Eric Revenue has against a team like Gonzaga, who will get up and down the floor, because the Pilots like to run as well. A rob. That's a three. Niedermeyer a little bit late. So you got a rock knocking down the three. It's only his 5th all year long. Goodson just hit a three, only his 4th, and it's an 8-point lead.
Well, you saw Rock. He got that first bucket to go down with the foul, and seemed to really get him started.
Bolden set up by Goodson, in and out. Smelders falls in the rebound. Portland's got to get TJ Campbell involved right now. He's turned it over 3 or 4 times and has not really gotten the ball in the right hands. Smelders, a rock on the run.
Portland's done a pretty good job of getting back off misses. Now that's coming out where they were zone defense first, kind of coming out now man-to-man.
Well, if Mark Few could get Dimitri Goodson going and get some confidence, that'd be a big, big plus for him overall. He's been struggling a bit. They've got a 10-point lead. Revenue calls the timeout. Wants to talk it over after the 16-4 run by Mark Few's club.
Well, we questioned whether the depth of Gonzaga was going to be good enough to make a deep run in the tournament. Manny Rock coming up big here in the first half. And this is where Meach is what they call a Meach is great at. Acceleration and getting to the hole. And once he got that layup to go, Terry, his confidence is soaring.
So the double-digit lead now by the number 13 team in the nation. Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV. Number 5, Michigan State, taking on your Fighting Illini, your former school, 9 o'clock Eastern time. What about the Illini this year in the Big Ten?
Well, Dimitri McCamey, their point guard, leading assist man in the Big Ten, hit a game winner against Indiana last week. And you see the standings, Big Ten standings, everybody chasing Michigan State. And Michigan State, Kalen Lucas may not play, severely sprained ankle against Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was, x-rays were negative, so that's good, but they don't know when he's going to be ready. But the Big Ten, as solid as it is, not as deep as most people thought at the beginning of the season.
Well, people thought Minnesota, Michigan, those 2 teams in particular were top 25 preseason. They've been very disappointing in terms of big wins. And so when you look at 6, possibly 7 bids coming out of the Big Ten, more realistically, it would be 5.
Yeah, I think so at this point. Grant Gibbs picked up his first 15 foul. Portland's got 14 fouls right now. Stoll to work. Campbell to back up 3. Well short. Gonzaga basketball. He's not in his rhythm right now. And credit the Zags defense for taking the 5'9" star out of it. 10-point lead for Gonzaga as we step away. Well, we'll get the news on a Pac-10 team in a few moments. But speaking of the teams out west, Bardo's best in the West. Take a look at your rankings on Saturday. Gonzaga in the top spot, and on down by BYU, St. Mary's on down the list. How about tonight?
Well, let's take a look and see here. San Diego State moving up. Arizona and Utah State debuting.
So you got San Diego State moving up 2. Portland moves up 1, having won 4 in a row.
Yep.
Arizona in for the first time, and Cal down 4.
Because of the matchup. See, I'm looking at records. I'm looking at what's going on. I'm not so sure of the matchups as they just pulled it. We're back to action. Lost my train of thought there.
Oh, okay. I wonder where you were going. But how about the Pac-10? I mean, how do you explain what has happened with the Pac-10?
Tremendous exodus of players in the first round the last 3 seasons. 18 guys in the first round.
Gibbs the bucket and the foul. 12-point lead, a chance to make it 13.
Gibbs getting an opportunity here in the first half. He started in place of Matt Bolden when Matt Bolden had a concussion earlier in the year. Young fella from Iowa, from Big Ten country, all the way out here making a contribution.
How did he get out here? I know you talked to him last week after the Santa Clara game.
He said a great thing, Terry. The style of play attracted him to Gonzaga. Said if you look at the Big Ten right now, they're not getting up and down the floor a whole lot, but he loves the way the Gonzaga gets up and down the floor, a more freestyle of play.
That's changed in the Big Ten. I'm not saying it's, it hadn't been that way. It has for a little while, but I know when you played in the late 80s, you got up and down the floor.
Oh, yeah. 80 points a game was not the exception. It was more the norm. And it's starting to come back that way now, but I like his perspective, and I like the fact that young people now look nationally as opposed to regionally when I was in school.
Bolden gave it up, got it back. Said enough with this passing. Let's let it fly. It's 33-17, just like that. And they were ready for it here in Spokane.
Well, you see Matt Bolden doing his thing, being a playmaker, and getting back, setting up for that. That's his spot right there, just left of the elbow from three-point range. He's been very comfortable from that position.
Look at what he's done from beyond the arc the last 5 games. You got a double dip, men's college hoops on Saturday, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Villanova and Georgetown. Told you about those 2 top 10 teams, at least right now. And number 9, Duke, win over Georgia Tech at home tonight, taking on Boston College, 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Scotty Reynolds. I love this young man right here, Terry. I think he's one of the top guards in the country, and he's got just a very aggressive mentality. Greg Monroe, highly skilled big man, could have come out last year and been close to a lottery pick. Glad he came back to Georgetown. We need more guys like that to stay in the game.
Campbell tried to go cross court. Arop read it perfectly. Oh, we were tied up. And it's been a 22-4 run the last 6 minutes plus, and add on 2 more to that. Bolden again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good Portland basketball team, but Gonzaga has taken them apart with their defensive intensity here in the first half. I mean, no easy shots are given. They're not allowing them to drive to the hole. Look at the defensive rotation.
Smelder's fortunate to get that one back, and I mean, that was extremely difficult.
You better believe between the time of San Francisco's upset of Gonzaga and tonight, there were some physical practices had from Mark Few and his staff.
And every defensive look that they've given him, none of them has worked. And there's Bolden again inside. And a look at what Matt Bolden can do for you. He knocks down a 3. He goes right back inside for a couple of buckets.
Goes back inside for a couple of buckets, Terry, and he can run the show for you. He's doing everything but selling tickets and popcorn tonight.
Niedermeyer. And around a couple of defenders. Ethan, the senior from Lafayette, California. He's right by Moraga and St. Mary's. Goodson back to Olynyk, making it look easy right now. I mean, this is just like a practice.
Well, there's an onslaught at the basket, sucking the defense in. And then we've seen some open three-point shots by Gonzaga because they're so aggressive on the penetration.